Hi guys, my name is Ornella Hernandez with Web3 TV, and today I'm at the Cardano Summit in Dubai. Joining me here, we have Robert from Bitrue. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
So Rob, why did you decide to come today to the Cardano Summit?
Yeah, good question. So Bitrue has quite a long-standing relationship with Cardano. We've actually invested in a few projects together, not coin-related projects, but a DEX and some other stuff. So it's always good to come back and to be here and see who's here. And it's pretty busy this year, so it's good for that reason. And then it's come and see friends and make new ones, I guess.
Have you learned anything today about the ecosystem or about other companies, maybe?
Not really, no.
Okay.
And that's not a judgment on anyone here. But you go to many of these conferences, there are many of the same talks. But to be fair, there are some elements to here which the talks are more interesting.
Okay, sounds good. Now let's talk a little bit more about Bitrue and how you differentiate yourself from other centralized exchanges out there.
So Bitrue's been going for 5 years. It's got a very heavy Asian, European focus. So it's 10 million customers, and it's the 8th largest exchange in the world by trading volume, based on coin market cap. And that fluctuates between, I've seen it as high as 4, but normally between 6 and 12 for spot trading, and normally pretty heavy 8 to 12 on futures. So it's a big exchange, very liquid, which is, I think it's a very important component of its being liquid.
How do you prove those reserves in a way?
So the
if
firm
we're talking
hasn't
about
actually,
being liquid.
Yeah. So liquidity in the market itself, not about the firm.
Okay.
So liquidity in the market as on the exchange itself. So how easy it is to trade in, trade out on the exchange.
Okay, all right. I do have to ask, since you are part of a centralized exchange, what your thoughts are on Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX, since his decision for the trial just happened yesterday and he was found guilty on all accounts. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, interesting one. I mean, I guess now that a guilty verdict's been given, very clearly, he and his team were doing some things that just aren't okay. You shouldn't be doing that as a business. You need to run a clean shop, and they clearly weren't doing that. They were clearly using funds to trade proprietary, and you can't do that. And if you look at traditional finance with an investment bank, you have prop trading desks, and then above it or below it, you have equity capital markets desks, M&A teams that are separated, and they hadn't done that. Clearly the reverberations around the second largest at that time exchange collapsing have been massive. And the damage it's done to the industry as a whole is fairly big, fairly sizable.
Did it affect your business at all?
I think it affected every business in that space. Any exchange saw its trading volumes go down, markedly. But then over time, they've gradually increased. I think it took the jury yesterday 4 hours to come to a verdict. So that's not really that long.
No, it was pretty
for
quick.
a major case. I guess, on a human to human level, I feel sorry for the people that have lost their money, and I feel sorry for the FTX team who've lost their jobs that had nothing to do with it, because it's sad. It's sad, and I'll stop there.
All right. And I do have to ask also your thoughts on the market right now. What are you seeing? There's, Bitcoin rallying, Ethereum, ADA even. What are your views on it? Where do you see it heading in the next quarter?
Yeah, people always ask me this. So I think two things. I actually called the bottom of Bitcoin's price last year, so I'm quite proud of that. I don't really talk about individual tokens because people say, oh, what do you think about this and what do you think about that? And I said, look, hey, we've got 700 coins listed. Please don't expect me to know something about every single one. I just don't. But I think broadly, what I've said to people is there are two potential avenues that you could see in the next year. One would be where the macroeconomic environment globally goes through a bit of a downturn, which you're seeing in sort of some parts of Europe, China, Qatar. People are talking about, spending less because of where interest rates are. And I think for some markets, what you're seeing is from the crypto or digital asset side, is people are buying crypto digital assets because they're worried about their own fiat currency. So Nigeria, Turkey. So that's one possible route.
That's where fiat currency is devalued and inflation's going up, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that's one reason you're seeing the trading that you're seeing. The other, obviously, is that people are talking about a Bitcoin ETF in the US.
Yes.
From BlackRock and from probably some of the other big, large asset managers, Vanguard, State Street, others are available. And from them. And that would be quite interesting because if you do start seeing that, but it goes beyond those into Ethereum, Cardano, ADA, XRP, then the sentiment is that that's going to mean a huge appreciation in the value of digital assets. That may not happen, right? So the people are right. If it becomes institutionalized and it becomes a product that anyone can buy, then loads more people are going to buy it. You're like, well, people can already buy it through people like Bitrue and through Binance. So what you're really talking about is institutional investment into those asset classes or into those assets. That for me is a bit more of a question mark.
Okay.
Right. So
you're not sure if that's
I'm not sure
happen.
that the sort of optimism that people have got is as optimistic as it should be. So being cautious, I'm like, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it won't be as good as people think. But I think broadly what people are talking about is the end of the bear market. I think you've already seen the end of the bear market, right?
Right.
Because Bitcoin's at 35.
Is spring around the
34?
corner?
Crypto spring. Who knows? Bitcoin was at 16. It's now at 34. It's arguably already left the bear market.
Yes.
What it's not reached is where it was previously, its previous peak. So it's still to where it was bear, but it's no longer a bear market in the same way. Yeah.
Okay.
I would argue that it's no longer a bear market if you consider where valuations were to where they are now. It's not a bear. It's bear comparative to where it was in the past.
Okay. Valid. All good points. Now, a couple more questions that are a little more creative what-if questions.
Okay.
If you could have any blockchain-based superpower, what would it be and why?
Gosh. I don't know. I really don't know. I genuinely don't know. Sorry. I'm going to skip out of that one.
Okay.
I don't want to give you an answer that's half cocked. So.
Okay, no worries. We'll ask something else. How about if you could go back in time and meet any historical figure, and introduce blockchain to them.
Yeah.
Who would it be? 2 people today have answered Steve Jobs to that question.
Yeah, but Steve Jobs, when did he pass away?
Not long ago.
So Steve Jobs was around for the beginning, right?
Yeah.
It's a really good question.
What do you think? Maybe a Roman emperor?
No one allowed to. Yeah, but the trouble is with someone like that is they wouldn't have an idea of what the technology was.
Right. That's true.
Does it have to be a real person or can it be a fictional person?
It could be a fictional character.
Okay, fictional character for me would be Gordon Gekko.
Okay.
From Wolf of Wall Street. Because imagine what that guy would do with this. Yeah. So if it's a not real person, I would say him.
All
So
right.
fictional character, I'd go Gordon Gekko, or of course Charlie Sheen, so who played Bod Fox.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think them. I'm gonna go for. Okay, if I can go for a fictional character, I'll go for them.
All right.
All cool?
Yeah. All
Good?
cool. Thank you for your time.
No worries.
Rob.
Pleasure. Thanks very much.